where last we left off. It's only been a week. It's very nice being able to recap so much from memory. I didn't have to prep much at all, but we left off in the middle of combat, which was exhilarating. So, after a very eventful session where you confronted Androthane Malkarian and proceeded past his strange cabin in whatever space you were in, you fought him and then went further in through a portal down to a dark stone kind of area where you all encountered immediately some giant hulking shield guardians, very tall, very scary, and you all begin to move past them. But after firing some arrows and some magical spells at one of the shield guardians, it seems like there's some kind of teleportation area. It's not visible at all, but I believe where last we left off, Tide, your owl went through, correct, and saw a similar area, but totally different from what you've seen thus far, and saw another shield guardian taking damage from the shots that it missed, and that's right where we left off. As you guys were running down a hallway where they couldn't pursue you.
Was it just the shield guardian that was there with my owl? Wasn't there somebody else?
There were two shield guardians.
Correct.
They look one that
actually, thus far, really quick, I'm going to place my little things to hide certain parts of the terrain, just so it's only line of sight. But what has happened thus far is that you guys started out and you decided to move left because there was a thinner corridor where the shield guardians couldn't quite follow you. And so you guys began moving that way. There was one shield guardian that when you first started out was directly in front of you, and one that was to your right. The one that was to your right began pursuing, and the one that was in front of you kind of moved back, and you think it might have arced around. So let me send you guys a picture of what you can see right now with the four of you. Really quickly here. Oh, hang on, let me.
Isn't it this last map that we saw?
Yeah, that would. Let me double check for reference. I don't think anything's changed since that last one in battle maps. Yes, that is the state of where everything is currently. Actually, well, it has been updated slightly on your movements. So let me send you an updated version. Give me 1 second here.
Yep.
Just because, I mean, in terms of what you can see, nothing has changed from that last map. And I will be intercutting to that map in the video, so it's not just nonsense to everyone listening. But yeah, let me just show you where you guys, because you guys have just kind of moved closer to each other, and that shield guardian that was in front of you when this whole thing started is now kind of trying to flank you guys in an opening. So you can see that running past it, you would be good to go. But yeah, Eremos was taking an attack, I believe, is where we stopped off. And so let me just post this map, and then I'm going to pull up the initiative order as well, just because I marked in there last we played where we were in that turn order. But there's the updated battle map right there. It looks like, according to my notes, Eremos took an attack, and I believe it was successful, wasn't it? Because I have in my notes, it says next session starts here right next to the shield guardian.
You didn't say whether it hit or missed. You just said that he was coming to swing at me.
Oh, that's right. Not Eremos was taking an attack. Eremos was being attacked. Yeah. That's right. Yeah. Okay, thank you. For a second, my brain got confused. So, yes, the shield guardian is taking an attack against you. That is where we will begin this session. So, really quick before I do roll for that, does anyone have any questions or anything they'd like to add to the recap? No? Okay, great. Haru, sorry, I didn't realize my cat was under me, and I touched him lightly, and he just flipped out and sprinted out the room. So, sorry, Haru. Okay, all right, we're back. All right, so the shield guardian does indeed raise its fist and take a swing at Eremos. I'm going to roll for that right now. Eremos does a 25 hit.
Whoa.
Jesus.
Can you imagine if he said no?
I know, I'd be like, well, cool, okay. So let me roll damage here real quick.
This is a 25 hit, not today.
Oof. Oh, gosh. Okay, this is off to a scary start. You take 13 bludgeoning damage.
Yowza.
I thought you were going to say 30. And I was
I know, I was like, ah!
And TPK. Josh wants to take a nap. Short session. No, I'm just kidding.
he would squish me with 30.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd be damn near dead.
I am referencing what level you guys are at when I choose enemies. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, 13 damage is what it takes with its action. Now, it does have multi-attacks. So, Kestan is right behind you, and this thing is big enough that with its other fist, after it punches Aeramos, it is going to reach over and try to hit Kestan. So,
Okay.
it is going to take a swing at Kestan. I am imposing a slight penalty due to the overreach and the angle.
I'm getting a number.
But it rolls a 10.
That
A 10 does not hit. So
No.
you dodge it, and the fist leaves a dent in the rock wall behind you, but you do not take a hit. So that is its turn. It is not going to move. It's going to stay in position where it is, and that is its turn. So let me check the turn order now, because before we move on back to Verkus, a couple things do have to happen. Give me 1 second to plot those on the map, because there are one thing I forgot to mention in the recap. As you guys were moving, just before that Shield Guardian did take its attack, if you recall that you guys did make perception checks, and you heard little like footsteps further on down the hall. So not necessarily directly in front of you, but elsewhere in this chamber. So let me really quick move down my initiative order. Give me 1 second. Okay. So as you guys see this whole thing go down with the hits, I need all 4 of you to roll me a d6, please.
Ooh, okay, let's roll low.
Oh,
Or maybe we want to roll high.
You don't know.
Maybe.
So 6, 7, 8. 8 total. Cool.
damn! I'm the worst.
1,
We all averaged out to, 2. It's fine.
2 is lower than average. Yeah, hopefully that was good.
So, I'll leave you to inference exactly what that number means. But as the Shield Guardian that was directly in front of you, which we've labeled Shield Guardian number 1, it does swing its fist and hit Eremos with a very painfully loud smack. And then it swings at Kestan and misses. And you guys hear a boom go through the chamber as it dents the wall. And then Kestan and Eremos are at such an angle, and Verkus a little bit can see this too. Another Shield Guardian that you have not seen moves up behind number 1 and takes position behind it due to the thickness or the width of the hall that Shield Guardian 1 is in. Shield Guardian 5 cannot move past it, and so it's just standing there behind it. But you do see that it looks like it's smoking a little bit, and its armor looks slightly charred, almost as though it might have taken approximately 8 damage from something. So
just about 8 damage.
Just approximately 8 damage. And so
you should have rolled higher.
yes, that Shield Guardian moves, and as it's moving with your passive perceptions, you guys also hear some movement there, where it looks like some other Shield Guardians might be moving somewhere else in your general vicinity. You just hear kind of some booming steps, and it's a little hard for you to pinpoint, but that is happening. Meanwhile, also, let me check the movement on these things, and we will be at Verkus's turn momentarily.
No worries.
Okay, those are... Okay, so you guys hear more of these small little footsteps moving, and Kestan, can you roll me a perception check really quick before we move to Verkus's turn?
Sure, yeah, no problem. No concern. Dirty 20. I lied. 21.
Let's go.
So with the 21, as you dodge this vicious swipe from a Shield Guardian, you kind of look at the way ahead, straight forward on that, or like up moving on that map I sent you. And this long hallway goes on for, it's hard to gauge in the moment, about 100 feet, where it opens up a little wider. But for that 100 feet, it is thin to where a Shield Guardian could not pursue you. But you do see 2 small creatures at the far end run in from outside of the opening, and it's hard to tell what they look like. They're about the size of a medium-sized dog. You see two of them, and it's a little. Do you have dark vision, Kastan?
I do.
Up to 120 feet.
I think it's just 60 feet.
Okay, so it'd be dim light at that distance for you.
Okay.
Their proportions look a little bit curvy on the side and squat for a dog. And with a 21 though for perception, you get the like the idea that these things are moving in a very hostile way, and it causes just the weird proportions on the body make you a little bit afraid, like you don't want to get closer and that it's dangerous. So, as a free action, if you'd like, you can announce this to everyone. But it will be Verkus's turn next. He is 10 feet behind you.
Yeah, I shut out real quick. You can hear just like my voice is tinged with panic. I don't really get into fights often, and when I do, I am not mentally okay. Especially after this massive shield guardian's like indented a wall behind me. I have a feeling like I fell backward on my ass, and I'm just like, oh god. And so I kind of saw these things more out of reflex to like look for an escape route as opposed to actually looking for the skittering. And so seeing these like unidentifiable kind of odd moving creatures, I was like, I think we have baby tentacle hippos or something coming our way.
Tentacle hippos.
Yeah, they're everywhere in the Feywild, don't you remember?
Yeah.
It's tentacle spider hippo season, like.
Right. You know, like flying spiders in Australia, tentacle spider hippo season in the Feywild.
It is what it is.
So I think, yeah, I just kind of call out and let everybody know that there's something coming down toward us in the direction that we've so far been headed.
Cool. That sounds good. Verkus, you hear this. You are 10 feet behind Kastan. You see him and Eremos dealing with that shield guardian. What do you do? And with your passive perception, now that Kastan has called it out, you can see that, let me calculate the exact distance, but way down that hallway, you can just kind of barely make out there is some kind of small, dangerous-looking creature there that is, let me do the math here, 10, 20, 30,
tentacle spider
40,
hippo.
50, 60, 70, 80, 90. It is exactly 100 feet from you.
Cool. I'm going to use my... I cannot remember. I believe I used my bonus action last session to cast Zephyr Strike.
Yes, you did.
Okay.
That's still active, correct?
So that's still active.
I
so
think
then
I think your sword is also. Didn't you have it lit on fire?
Yes.
Yes.
For 2 rounds.
So I'm gonna go and 2, 3. I'm gonna go up, like leap over Kastan.
Okay.
Which
you can do with no movement penalty because you guys are friendly and there is enough space for for creatures your size to move through. Okay. So that's fine.
Yeah.
And as I leap over, I'm gonna pat him on his shoulder and I'm gonna use one of my phase step abilities and teleport him forward 30 feet.
Okay.
Closer to the tentacle hippo spiders.
Yeah.
Okay.
Seems to be the way we're going.
So Verkus, as you're moving past, you're gonna shoot Kastan forward 30 feet. Let me reflect that on the map here.
Yeah.
Okay, so Kastan moves up 30 feet. Okay. And Verkus is now basically where Kastan was. You have moved 15 feet to kind of get just past to where he was. Do you want to continue down to catch up with Kastan?
Yeah, I'm gonna do my last 15 feet there.
Don't you have a movement boost from Zephyr Strike or no?
No.
Okay.
I just do not take attacks of opportunity.
Copy that. So since you had to move up to catch up to Kastan, and then you continue on after touching him, Kastan is 10 feet in front of you.
Okay.
Yes.
And then after that, as Kastan begins to manifest, I'm going to shoot another one of those ruby-tipped arrows.
Sweet.
Down the hall towards the tentacle spider hippos.
Go for it. Roll me an attack, please.
19.
A 19 absolutely hits. So, really quick for the damage on these unique arrows, please roll a wisdom or intelligence save.
Oh, fuck, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Shit. Oh, no. That's when I roll shit. God damn it.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Is it a nat 1?
No.
Okay, well.
No, it's 10 total.
Okay. So,
I take it that doesn't save.
Rex, I think we discussed that with his bow, he's not going to get disadvantage from that cursed item because he still has it in the, or like when he's at range. If there's enemies in melee and he chooses not to use the sword, but since he can't use the sword, it's okay for that. So glad you reminded us though of that Veracus did pick up that suspicious weapon. Veracus, two things happen. First off, as soon as your arrow hits the target, which it does, you take 1d8 psychic damage. So please roll that for me now.
Oh, right.
Eight.
You had a headache last time.
8?
Yeah. What? Oh no!
No, I rolled a 5.
Oh, okay. So you take 5 psychic damage, but then you deal with the arrow whatever your normal bow damage is, plus an additional d6 for that arrow, because of the obsidian tip on the end.
Okay.
Give a d6, take a d6.
Yeah.
If you make a higher save, maybe it's a better ratio.
If you make a higher save, actually, something cool happens, but you guys haven't succeeded on one yet, so we will see.
Yeah, it's like I roll good for hitting, but my saves have all been very bad.
Yeah.
We get you the resilience cantrip.
Yeah. So I got a 2 for my d6.
Okay.
And then a total of 8 damage from the arrow itself.
So
10.
10
10 damage total.
Nice.
Yeah.
So your arrow flies, and you immediately feel a sharp pain in your head as you're like, that was supposed to do something, and it didn't.
Son of a bitch!
You do see your arrow strike the creature, and it staggers back. And based on how it staggers, you're like, okay, I did pretty significant damage to that. At least a third of its health is knocked down from that hit. So
good.
Yeah,
okay, that's all I can do.
Nice. That is solid. So you move forward. You shot that guy. You got a bit of a headache. Kastan, you suddenly reappear down the hall, and then from behind you, over your shoulder, phew, an arrow just flies and hits the creature in front of you, which you are now closer to. Really quickly, because you are now 10, 20, 30, 40, you are 45 feet from that creature. I'm going to send you, only you, a picture of what it looks like.
Hooray.
Give me one moment to send that here.
Suddenly you guys hear Kassan just sobbing. Like uncontrollable crying. You notice lots of fear. I have an idea of how I want to handle this, but I'm not sure.
All right, I am sending you an image in the Discord, in your personal message. So there you go.
Oh no. That is absolutely disgusting.
I'm laughing because I'm scared.
You should be. I hate it so much. Okay. So Veracus is 10 feet behind me, you said?
Yeah, Veracus is 10 feet behind you, correct.
Okay, and then Eremos would be 30 feet behind me then, and Tide would be about 45?
Eremos is 30 feet behind you, 45 to Tide, correct.
I'm just going to shout out,
For some reason, Discord muted you when you raised your voice. So it sounds like you're just going.
Oh no.
Silence.
Just
It was
fear
so
takes his
high
voice.
pitched.
Yeah.
We couldn't hear it.
Victor heard it in real life 2 rooms over,
I did.
but you know.
Yeah.
So you guys just hear a very high-pitched, frantic shriek, and there's something about the lines of walking brains.
Oh, god damn it.
So, Gaston, what else would you like to do for your turn?
Okay, so I
You
will.
better not mind
bend.
flare us.
Hey, we're level 4. We can handle it.
Oh yeah, 1.
Can we? Okay, the first thing I will do is bonus action, starry form into my archer form.
Yeah.
And then at the same time, I'll be taking an arrow attack with that form on the brain that had been struck by the arrow Verith's head shot.
Perfect. The second one that you can see is 5 feet behind that one.
That's a nat 20.
Crit!
go.
That's
Get
our
him.
first crit of the session. Love it.
Thrilled. Okay, so then it's 2d8 now, plus 5.
Nice.
That's going to be 14 radiant damage.
You kill it.
Oh,
That's
good.
You shoot an arrow, and you hear your arrow go through it and like hit the stone wall behind it, and the thing just falls right over.
Beautiful.
So
no
it
notes.
is dead. Yes. Well done.
And then for my action, I'm going to I'm gonna try something. I want to cast Summon Beast. But what I really want this to do is to make Olive larger.
Ooh.
So I want to take Olive out of her protective pouch. I'm like, it's time, friend, and throw her
Like a Pokemon?
Yeah.
kinda, and cast Summon Beast. I can do it up to 90 feet. So I guess I'm throwing her up to 90 feet.
Okay.
I really just want to throw her right in front of the creature. I have to pick an environment. So for her, I'm picking land. And really all that means is she's grown like quadruple the size. She's like the size of a pit bull at this point.
Nice.
And I have her little stat block here.
Perfect.
That's just something. Remember who you are.
I'm gonna have to find a way to edit that into the video so people can see us what we're laughing at.
Oh,
Oh,
man.
No, we're just laughing hysterically for no reason at all.
Oh.
Okay, so
I need to put that away.
Yeah, no, I did the same thing. Oh gosh.
So, because it says the creature is an ally to me and my companions in combat, the creature shares my initiative count but takes its turn immediately after mine, obeying verbal commands that require no action by me. So as I pull her out and like throw her, I'll just kind of be like, Olive, attack!
And she just suddenly grows to the size of like a pit bull. And,
Absolutely.
okay. Really quickly though, I do need you to roll me a roll me a wisdom save for Olive, please.
Oh no, Olive's stupid.
Actually, no, it's not Olive's fault, I promise. You'll see in a moment why I'm having you roll this.
Okay. She got a 13 on her wisdom save.
Can you
It's
roll
not
me
great.
2d8, please?
Oof.
For no reason.
Sure can.
No, there's a reason. I'm saying it's not a reason of Olive's fault, but something else.
It's going to be 8 total.
This is Castan's fault for throwing her
So
at a
as
brain
Castan,
weed.
as you throw Olive, you see her suddenly enlarge midair, and as she flies through the air, about 5 feet in front of you, she suddenly vanishes.
No.
She does take. You said you rolled 8 total for that dice roll.
Did she just die?
I'm not gonna let that happen. I'm not a cruel DM, but
Oh my god.
She just vanishes in a ball of fluff.
it looks like she just suddenly blinked out of existence. But so she just vanishes as soon as she moves 5 feet from you. Now you have when she's like in this enlarged form, you have a psychic connection to her.
I don't believe so.
I mean, she's still loyal to you, but you just
Yeah.
cannot see her. She is elsewhere, outside of your line of sight.
Can she use her movement to come back?
She would need to make a free perception check to try to figure out where she is.
But we don't know
Oh,
where
wait a second. So because of the spell, she technically has a new Constitution modifier.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
She would have gotten a 15. I'm sorry, a Wisdom modifier. She would have gotten a 15, not a 13 on her save.
The DC is pretty high, so unfortunately, she still does take that 8 psychic damage.
Changes nothing. Okay.
What's her total HP left after that?
She's got 30 HP, so 22.
Cool. Okay. So, she's alive. She's just been through something traumatic, and you have no idea where she is. Could you actually message me her stat block, and I will kind of calculate what she's doing until you guys reunite, since you don't have a psychic connection?
Yes, I will do that for you.
Perfect. Thank you. Hey, if you just send me her like characteristic modifiers, I'll be good with the rest. So
You got it.
cool. Thank you. So since she goes next after you, I will make a quick roll for her to see what she does.
Don't you still have movement, Kastan? You could follow her through that.
I do.
This
Yeah,
is
I'm not
true.
done with my turn.
Yeah, you could move forward to investigate. So
All right, I just sent you her stat block.
thank you, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so yeah, I'm just gonna run. I only have 30 feet of movement, so as far as 30 feet will get me toward going to wherever Olive has just bamped to.
Cool. When you threw her, what distance were you attempting to throw her?
Directly in front of the brain scorpion-looking creature.
Like 45 feet away, I think.
Okay,
think so.
perfect. So, as you run forward towards where you were trying to throw Olive and where she vanished, as you start moving, as soon as you get to the spot that she vanished at, you also suddenly are in a different hallway. It's the same kind of stone walls, but you're in a different spot. And Olive is about 50 feet in front of you, on her feet. Okay, but Kastan, I need you to make a wisdom saving throw, please.
Okay, I actually, for me, this is decent.
Oh,
Until I
yeah.
roll that. It's a total of 16.
Can you roll me 2d8, please?
Oh,
I sure can.
Sorry, it's a high.
That's 11 for me.
You take 11 psychic damage, unfortunately, as you are suddenly teleported elsewhere in this large chamber.
Okay. Oof. That hurt.
Yep.
Sorry, I think that's my turn.
Oh, sorry. No, actually, so when you move,
yeah.
so good. Sorry, I got confused for a second. So as you move and suddenly are in a new place, you take a bunch of psychic damage, and you're like, but you see Olive. She's about 25 feet in front of you. She's on all fours. She doesn't look physically injured or anything. You still have 20 feet of movement left. And you see that there is you're in the same kind of walls, except you're the narrow hallway behind you is empty. Your friends are not there, and the hallway in front of you kind of widens out, so you can tell you're in a different hallway. It is big enough for a shield guardian to move, and it looks like actually, I'm just going to send you a screenshot of what you see in terms of terrain. There's just kind of a new layout to the hall itself. So let me send this to you. I'm going to put it in the battle maps channel because it doesn't spoil anything for anyone else. The O with a slash through it is Olive, and Kastan, you are there. And the thing shaded behind you is not anything you can see, but it's clearly what teleported you there. So,
Yeah, I'll move up to be with Olive.
cool.
And then finish my turn. I'll just kind of crouch down and start scratching her behind the ears.
Perfect.
It's
Actually,
okay. We're lost, but we'll find our way.
Can you roll me a free animal handling check, since you and Olive have a very pure, nice relationship? I want to see if you can comfort her and give her a little boost.
Okay. That's going to be a 23.
Cool. Can you roll me a d6, please? In a good way.
That's going to be a 1.
Okay. So as you console her, she recovers 2 of the damage she took from that traumatic teleportation. So she regains 2 HP. So
2 psychic healing. Perfect.
yes, 8 psychic damage, 2 psychic healing. You know how it goes. And I'm gonna add Olive to our initiative order since we've brought her into play this way. So that is your turn, Kastan. Around you, you do see. Actually, can you really quickly also make me a either a perception check or an intelligence check? The intelligence will have a slightly lower DC than the perception.
I'm going to go with perception.
Cool.
That's going to be a 17 total.
That is actually what the DC was. So you just barely pass.
Yes.
You can tell based on the layout of the things you see that you are, from where you guys were, you are now off to the right as you were facing going forward. You are off to the right about 200 feet. So if the direction you guys were going in was arbitrary north, you have moved east about 200 feet, and you think that if you either go to your left, it would eventually bring you back towards the shield guardians that attacked you, but also your friends, or if you go forward and left, it should have you guys reconnect. So you can just kind of tell a vague layout of where you guys are based on what you're seeing and what you're hearing. So.
Okay. Yep.
So that is Kastan's turn. Olive's turn does go next, though, now that you've yeeted her through a teleporting thing and enlarged her. So do you want her to kind of move forward, left, or back and kind of scout for you?
I don't see any like opponents or anything like that nearby, right?
Correct, you do not.
Okay. I honestly think then I would just instruct her to move her movement just up through that northern.
Can you like mount her?
No, she's a small creature, so it wouldn't. Yeah, she's still technically a small. She went from tiny to small.
Yeah. But she is able to move 30 feet forward. So 10, 20, 30. So she still has 30 more feet. That'll take her to just about the end of that kind of hall up there before it opens up more. Do you want her to go a little bit past that and just kind of look around?
Yeah. I'm not worried for her safety, and she'll be fine. She's a resourceful lady.
Perfect. Okay, so she moves forward, and you can see her go past where this kind of longer hallway goes and then opens up. She moves about 10 feet beyond where it opens, and you see her kind of go, like she kind of scratches and like angles almost like a hunting dog. It looks like further up and to your left slightly, she sees something that she's concerned about.
Okay.
Yes.
I understand.
Cool. That is Kastan and Olive's turn. Tide, you are up next. You are 15 feet kind of behind Eremos, and 10, 20, 30, and 35 feet behind Verkus. What would you like to do, Tide?
Okay. I think I will continue down to follow Verkus. I'm assuming we're all going to try to stay together.
Try.
Right.
Other than Kastan.
Other than Kastan. Can I have my owl come back through the way that it came and see if it can find us, or does it see Kastan over there?
Actually, your owl, based on where it was, it actually sees. So your Olive's kind of hovering around where that shield guardian was.
Mm-hmm.
Your owl would see that shield guardian move back, and a second shield guardian runs up to it. So now you guys have identified 5 shield guardians total in different places throughout this chamber. And then it also sees off to its right, Olive runs past it. So so your owl is roughly in the vicinity of Owl and Kastan.
Okay. Perfect. Then I will have.
Oh, and actually, one more thing too. Sorry, I didn't mean. To your owl's left, about 80 feet, you see one of the Intellect Devourers, and you would see the one that got shot with the arrow also. So you guys are kind of starting to actually, between the owl and where Kastan has gone, you guys now have a better layout of this whole room. So I'm actually going to send you kind of a bigger layout here. Give me 1 second. Now that you guys are kind of piecing together the overall layout here and kind of identifying these mystery points where teleportation happens. So let me send this to you guys now. The circles with numbers in them are shield guardians. The O with an X through it is your owl. The O with a slash through it is Olive. Everyone else has their initials. And then the number 2 on there, just a plain number 2, that's the second Intellect Devourer that you guys have seen.
So can we safely assume that the Intellect Devourers were what we heard pitter-pattering with their perception? Okay.
Correct. Yeah. So you guys,
Oh, boy.
yes. I had fun making this map.
Okay.
And there's more to the north that is not revealed in that picture that you guys haven't seen yet. So
Dope. Okay. I'll figure out what I'm gonna do with my owl in a bit. I'm going to. Ooh, that's metagaming. So I'm gonna run up to to where Verkus is, and as I pass Eremos, I'll be like, trust me to get you out of this, because I don't want him to take an opportunity attack from the shield guardian. So I will telekinetically drag him along with me.
perfect. So in
He
that
can
map,
choose to fail to save.
Yeah, trust fall. I was like, okay, let's go.
cool. Really quick, with the map I just sent you, you see that I moved Tide up to be 5 feet behind Verkus. So I'm gonna assume you move Eremos to be right in tow with you along that.
Yeah.
Perfect. And then are you able to, after taking that action to pull Eremos along with you, are you able to move any further beyond Verkus or no?
I only have 30 feet of movement. Is that 30 feet?
Yeah, that was
From
30
where I was?
feet. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that was my bonus action to pull Eremos with.
Cool.
Now
you guys are out of reach of Shield Guardian number 1, which you can see there on the map. So because it can't reach into that thin corridor you're in now. But Verkus and Tide, by extension, Eremos would not have seen this, but Tide, you would have seen Verkus, or you and Verkus would have seen Kastan run through and vanish along with Olive. So
yeah, so we'd be saying
The last thing you heard him say was, "Oh no!"
oh no! Yeah, and so you guys can tell that with your passive intelligence checks that there's something up ahead that's causing people to like teleport or vanish. So
okay.
Is there anything else you'd like to do on your turn, Ted?
I
No.
still have my action. I will give Eremos a guidance
Nice.
to have. And then I'll have my owl move 30 feet, which is like the tip to the left of that area there.
Cool.
I see a line there, which I assume does something, but the Tide doesn't know that. So I'm going to just have my owl move so that I want to get a better idea of what's in that room.
Cool. So actually with that line there, since it's on the map and owls are very perceptive, with your owl's passive perception, it could tell that there's some kind of barely discernible, just on the precipice of being invisible, but just not quite to your owl.
Mhm.
There is some kind of magical barrier there at that line with the little symbol near it. So your owl wouldn't instinctively wouldn't fly into it, but it can
Okay.
fly right up to it.
Okay, and it's this
Sure.
kind of the same thing that happened when it kind of, because last time it went through a barrier and then just appeared here. Is this different?
This is different.
Hmm.
This is something else. Yes. That's
Okay.
why I have those little symbols there. I'm a nerd. I actually taught myself Elvish when I was a kid. Tolkien Elvish. So I use little elven symbols to denote certain things that correspond to my notes so that they are kept secret. But yes.
Dope. Then
Yes.
I'll have my owl kind of just chill there, kind of as a warning.
Yeah.
But it won't go any further.
With its passive perception, it would see that this barrier extends. You're not sure how deep it goes, but you can see the edge of it on your side, and it goes between those where the line is on the map, and then it goes from floor to ceiling. There's no discernible way through it. Correct. Yep.
Dope. Maybe we can inspect it when we're closer to it, but all right, that's my turn.
Awesome. Great turn. Shield Guardian number 2 goes next, and then we will move to Eremos. So what's going to happen is that Shield Guardian Shield Guardian number 2 is going to run up, and it's going to get within 5 feet of your owl, and it's going to look up at your owl, and its fists are slightly raised, so you don't know if it might try to attack or impede your owl on its next turn. Oh,
Are the ceilings not? How high are the ceilings?
So these Shield Guardians are about 10 or like 12 feet tall. They're pretty high, and these ceilings are pretty vaulted, so they're like 15 or 16. So your owl it'd be very difficult. Actually, your owl could probably dodge. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
But it's moving to try to like look at it and try to get near it. So
what the heck are you?
yes. So Eremos, it is your turn. You just did a trust fall and had Tide pull you along, so you are further from the Shield Guardian that just knocked the wind out of you. You are now 10 feet from it, and based on the little corner that Tide pulls you past, you're like, okay, that thing can't hit me anymore, but it's still close. What would you like to do?
So at the beginning of this combat, when it was not my turn, so like 5 or 6 rounds ago, I was just thinking about this like as Rex, and then I made an int check for Eremos, and he was relatively smart at the moment. So I'm wondering if I can deduce in any way how or by whom the Shield Guardians are being controlled.
Yeah. So, well, and with your warrior background, you would have heard legends of ancient or very powerful magic wielders having these constructs under their will.
Or maybe Nebel and Havenhearth might have had one.
Yeah, they'd be pretty rare in this world, but you would have heard of it. Let me look at your character page real quick because I have a few ideas. So let's see. I think if you made an Arcana check, if you did well enough, I'd let you reveal something. It's not going to be a super high DC because I know your Arcana is not great, but since you're kind of thinking what's going on, I'd like you to roll an Arcana if that's cool.
Okay, let's see. Nat 20.
Yes. Okay. So you just immediately putting together what's going on, you're like, this has to be some kind of magical force from the mound, or maybe another iteration of Andrathane Malkarian controlling these things. And based on how they're acting, and based on just your very, vague paladin senses of the magic in this chamber, you're like, okay, somewhere in this large room that you guys are in with all these barriers and kind of twisting halls, whatever entity is controlling these things is nearby in this plane of existence in the flesh. And based on how it's commanding these 5 that you've sensed, it's probably going to be pretty powerful. So
yeah. Yep. Okay.
You sense that it is within 300 feet of you. Yeah, within 300 feet of you, correct. Yeah. And it has not been revealed yet. So.
And I did not see Castan disappear, so I'm thinking we're going down this narrow corridor, so I'm just going to use my full 30 feet to move forward down the narrow corridor. Yeah.
Perfect. So 5, 10, 15, 25, 30. So you get to just before where Castan vanished. Veracus and Tide, if you wanted, as a free action, as you see Eremos sprint forward past you.
Attack of opportunity.
I mean, you could. Or words of caution of opportunity, if you wanted. Just in case, still. Hey!
No one leaves my threatened area.
So, yeah. There's that. So, you guys would both register that Eremos is like within 3 feet of where Castan vanished and Olive vanished. So,
if I don't hear anything, I'm gonna use an action to dash right into it.
I gave you a guidance.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Eremos, you continue to dash. I do need you to make a wisdom saving throw with guidance.
Guidance cannot be applied to a saving throw.
Oh, okay. Then just a regular saving throw.
Ability check. Yep. So, save wisdom. Let's see what we got. 10. So 2d8.
2d8 psychic. Ooh. I'm sorry.
2d8. 13.
Oof, that's a lot. After
I
that
know.
punch, oof.
That's the same as I took before. Yeah.
Ugh. So after you take the first 5 feet of your remaining 30, yeah, you feel like just your brain walked through a brick wall. The rest of your body feels fine, but you do not feel good. 20 feet in front of you is Kastan. So you are suddenly 20 feet behind him on the map. And your friends are not behind you like they were just a split second ago. You still have 25 feet of movement left if you want to get up next to Kastan. Totally up to you. Or you could veer left. You're going to get next to Kastan?
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
Cool. All right, so I have Kastan and Eremos standing next to each other.
And I'll kind of be like,
he comes up right next to me. I'm just like,
I'll kind of be like limping a little bit and holding my temple, just like, Eremos is not looking good.
Yeah, this is getting intense. Let me.
But I will say to Kastan, what I deduced, I will say, I've heard legend of these type of constructs, and there must be somebody somewhere controlling them, and somewhere near.
Excellent.
Some nods. He's not sure. Not sure what to make of that.
So, I'm just doing some movement for the shield guardians in your vicinity. Eremos, as you are standing next to Stan and telling him this, you do just kind of with your passive perception turn and look over your shoulder, and down and to your left you see Shield Guardian 5, the one that stepped over behind Shield Guardian 1 after it punched you. That does move the opposite direction, and it is now about 15, 20, it's now about 55 feet down to the left of you. Okay. And that's where its turn ends. Also, with your passive perception, as you look behind you, you would continue looking around, and to your left, Shield Guardian number 3 turns the corner, and that is 30 feet from you. So there are 2 within your vicinity now.
Yeah.
Yep. And then Shield Guardian number 4, that is going to. You guys don't have line of sight on that one right now, but you hear it moving. And then let's see. 3, 4, 5. So Verkus and Tide, you guys see the Intellect Devourer that was standing next to the one that you guys killed. That one is going to run forward down the hallway towards Verkus and Tide. And when it gets to that point that Kastan was at, it suddenly blips out of existence. Kastan and Eremos, you suddenly look over as a giant walking brain, not giant, like dog size, brain just suddenly blips into existence and runs toward you guys. It ends its turn 10 feet from Kastan.
He's screaming in terror. The whole time it's coming, it appears, it comes up to him really fast, and the whole time he's just like, screaming.
And then as you scream, suddenly you hear Olive go, like something's getting near her too. Not like she got hurt, but like she's frightened. And so that is where we will move to Verkus for the next turn.
Top of the round.
So Verkus, there is a Shield Guardian standing 15 feet behind you, but it cannot advance because you are in this thin corridor with Tide, and 20 feet in the opposite direction is where people seem to be blipping out of existence. What would you like to do?
You just hear me screaming, "Cousin, save me!"
Actually, yes, from a distance, you guys would hear Kastan scream. way on the other side of the chamber.
Cousin! You're muted, I think.
We can't hear you, Verkus.
Yeah.
Sorry, I've been muting myself because Nugget has gone wild.
Oh.
And how do I not see where she is? I have enclosed her. Oh, okay. Sorry. So I am going to, hearing my friends, or seeing my friends vanish, and then hearing Kastan screaming, "Cousin, save me!" I'm just gonna kind of groan, and unsheath my swords, and then I'm gonna expend the burst for my Zephyr Strike and burst through where they were vanishing.
Cool.
After seeing that the Intellect Devourer also went through there.
Cool.
So I'm gonna burst through that.
Perfect. So with that burst, how much extra movement speed does that give you?
It gives me an extra 30 feet. So
Okay,
it doubles
sweet.
my, yeah.
Well, so
30 meat.
before you expend
30
that,
meat.
actually, so you just 30 feet.
30
Butcher's
pounds
box.
of ground chuck, butcher's box.
So
Brown supporter.
after moving the first 20 feet, Verkus, you suddenly teleport. I do need you to make a wisdom save throw.
This is gonna only go well.
Thank you.
Hey,
Thank you.
21.
Let's
Nice. Nothing happens mentally to you. That's awesome. You suddenly are in a different space, but you're like, okay, I got this. And you are 5 feet behind Intellect Devourer number 2, and Kastan is 20 feet in front of you on the other side of that Intellect Devourer.
Keep going towards that Intellect Devourer and just hit it.
And Zephyr Strike gives you a bonus to damage, right?
Yes.
Perfect. Roll that attack, and because you're flanking it from behind and it doesn't see you, roll with advantage, please.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Thank you, because that was a 5.
I think Zephyr Strike gives you advantage on the turn that you use the movement, doesn't it?
Maybe.
I'd have to look it up real quick.
Yeah, because you don't provoke opportunity attacks the whole time, even including now, but one time you can do a burst of speed and you get advantage on that.
And yeah, I give myself advantage on one weapon attack.
Sweet.
Nice. Okay.
And then if you keep up your Zephyr Strike, you can still not provoke opportunity attacks when you move.
Yeah.
Right.
Advantage for sure. Thank you, Matthew.
16 to hit.
Okay, 16 absolutely hits.
Okay.
With your new sword, it's on fire.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Max damage.
Max damage?
Beaded blood.
So it was 12 points of slashing damage from the sword itself.
Yeah. And
Plus an extra 4
slashing.
points. Extra 4 points of fire. And 7 points of force damage.
That's a kill.
Oh, nice.
2 HP less and it wouldn't have been a kill.
Nice.
Nice.
But yeah, you run through and you describe how you just destroy this full health Intellect Devourer.
I burst through and in very Verkus fashion, as I burst through, going at full speed, I'm not used to the teleportation piece, and I just trip over my feet and just tumble and land into the brain.
Nice.
Sword burst.
Just gray matter.
Yeah.
And I just...
It's like bowling, but with Verkus and brain.
And I just pause. I look at the ichor that I am in, and I just go...
Cousin, that looks very gross and uncomfortable. Are you okay? I'm sure Tide can help. Tide.
Tide.
Furthest away from everybody.
Yes. Tide. You hear like
Verkus
200 feet away, echoing through stone. You just hear Tide. Tide.
I take a second. I'm like, this is the quietest it's been in so long.
I love it. Verkus, after that attack, you do still have some movement remaining. Do you want to get closer to Kastan and Eremos? Or do you want to stand just in the wreckage of that former Intellect Devourer?
Group up for the fireball.
I'm actually gonna stay within the ichor, and then let me see, because that was just my action and movement.
Yeah, right now I have you 15 feet down from Kastan, directly down. I'm just going to send you guys an updated map real quick with everyone's positioning.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, let me do that.
See if there is anything else I can do.
I think you still have a teamwork bonus with me, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, you're right. I don't think that's been used yet.
Yes.
So this is the layout as you all have deduced thus far, coming into the Discord right now. Everything shaded in pen is pillars that reach up to the ceiling. So those are just obstacles. Yeah.
Mhm.
Either the big squares or circles and stuff like that.
More Intellect Devourers.
The 3 and the 4 north of Olive are indeed 2 more Intellect Devourers.
Oof.
So those
Can
are 15
I-
feet from Olive.
Am I able to see those?
Yeah, they're pretty far from you, but you can see them. Yeah.
Okay.
You can
think
see
he's
number
not that
4. You
smart.
can't see 3, but you're guessing where there's 1, there's more. So you can see
Okay.
number 4 direct line of sight. So
Okay.
and then you see also Shield Guardian 3 to the left of you and Eremos and Castan.
Yeah, I'll give the teamwork bonus action to Eremos.
Nice. So does that give him an extra action on his turn?
Yes.
Sweet. Okay. Well, Verkus, after your turn, after killing one of the Intellect Devourers, well done. Castan, it is your turn. You see that about 30 feet to your left is a Shield Guardian, and then up where Olive is, about 50-ish feet north of you, beyond about 15 feet beyond her, there's 2 more Intellect Devourers. What do you want to do?
I'm going to run up my 30 feet.
Towards Olive. Towards Olive.
Towards Olive. Yes, sorry.
Oh, you're good.
Towards Olive.
My
I'll
pen attacked
use
me.
my Starry Form Archer attack bonus action to strike out at the Intellect Devourer on the right.
Cool. Number
So I
4.
think it's number
Perfect.
4.
Yep.
Yeah.
Perfect.
That's
Roll
going
an
to be a
attack.
22 to hit.
Absolutely hits.
And then that's going to be 15 radiant damage.
Nice.
I know, I rolled max damage on it.
Nice. Yeah, you fire
and
a
then
powerful arrow of light and it hits it, and that thing staggers back like you just took away at least half its HP, if not more.
Gotcha.
Very solid hit. Yeah.
I'm then going to scream out to Olive and just say, Olive, hit the same one! So that on her turn, she goes to attack that guy. And then I don't have any good. That's fine. I'm then going to use a spell. I'm going to cast Ice Knife at the same one.
Do it.
That's going to be a dirty 20 to hit.
Absolutely hits.
And then both of them need to make a DC 15 Dex save.
Nice.
Cool. Well,
The first one that I hit with the Ice Knife takes 4 piercing damage. I can't hear you. Nope.
can you hear me now?
Yes.
I think I bumped the little like mute button there. My bad. So okay. What was the DC on the deck save for those?
15.
Okay, so number 3 rolled a 15, so it just barely passes. But now for the one that you just dealt 4 damage to, that one rolls a deck save as well, right?
Both of them do, yes.
Cool. That one rolled a 15 also. So okay, they both
Okay,
pass
so
it.
nothing happens.
Cool. The one that you hit now with 2 strikes is barely still standing, but it is still up.
Great. So then Olive's going to run up and try and just maw on it to death.
Roll an attack.
I don't know how to do that.
Let me pull up her stat block real quick, and we'll intuit what her
She
claw
gets-
stat would be. She has a +4 to strength in this spirit form, so.
Oh, it says my spell attack modifier to hit.
Good.
Great. Nice.
Okay. So
Plus
that's
7.
great. 7. Yeah.
Nice.
It's a nat 1, so she's a little afraid to like chew on this thing.
Yeah,
So
so
she
she
like
kinda,
runs up, she gets her little paws on it, and she's like,
She doesn't
I'm
want
not biting
escargot.
this thing.
yeah. So she gets close to it, but yeah, she's like, no thanks. So.
Okay.
Yep.
And then
Is that her
that
only
will
action?
be my turn.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, she only gets the 1 attack for now.
Cool. Well, at least one of those Intellect Devourers is barely left standing. Tide, it is your turn. You are alone now in a corridor. The place where people keep vanishing is 30 feet in front of you,
Yes.
and 5 feet from you is Shield Guardian number 1, but it cannot reach in and attack you, so you are safe from that.
It moved there and wasn't able to do anything.
Correct.
Like,
yeah. So like
fantastic.
you can't really move out the way you
Yes.
came in for that corridor because it's standing there. But yeah.
Fantastic. I have a question to see if you'll let me do this. So, my telekinetic shove is worded: you can telekinetically shove a creature you can see within 30 feet of you. If I'm looking through my owl, would it be 30 feet from my owl? Because that's where I'm looking from.
Yeah. I vote
Yeah.
yes.
Cool. I have a shenanigan I want to try.
Shenanigan away, my friend. Shenanigan
so-
away.
I will just look up at the shield guardian. They'll probably try to like punch into this corner, but fail to hit me. And then I'm just going to take a step back to make sure that it really can't. And for safety, for science. And then I'm going to warg into my owl. It is going to fly back on the shield guard, and I want to shove it into that wall.
Okay, number 2.
Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah, go
And
for
has
it.
to make a strength save of 15. I imagine their strength is high, but I wanted to see what happens if it fails, if it goes through there.
Actually, I'm going to use my dice tower. Let's see.
Box of Doom.
It rolled a 6. It rolled a 6. So, yes. So
It moves 15 feet, gets shoved.
nice. So, yeah, you could shove it into... Actually, so you have 2 options. Based on what your owl... Wait, did I mute myself again?
No, we can hear you.
We're
listening.
Every time I bump this now, I'm paranoid. So, okay.
All good.
So based on what your owl's seen, and you're able to look at this map now and see your owl near the number 2, there's that, like there's that solid wall you could shove it against, but also to the right, there's that little squiggly line. That's where your attacks earlier were flying through. So you could shove it back into that to teleport it somewhere, or shove it against the wall to take bludgeoning damage. Which would you prefer?
Well, I thought there's that sheen on the left, right, that we don't know what it does.
Oh, yeah, you want to shove it into that?
I want to see what that does, yeah.
Perfect. Okay, great. Let me...
What better way to
pull up my
test than
notes.
with what you have in the environment?
I was like, I'm not going to touch it. Like,
So, let's see. Okay. Based on the size of that shield guardian, can all 4 of you roll me 2d8?
higher, low. Let's see. Okay. I rolled 12.
13.
Hang on, let me write these down so I can remember. 12 and 13.
I rolled 5 total.
Cool.
13.
Cool. So Tide, your owl kind of flies up and over Shield Guardian number 2, and you telekinetically just shove this thing into that barrier. And as soon as it hits that, just when you're looking through your owl's eyes, you can see it just barely. It's almost like just the faintest little shimmer of light. As soon as the Shield Guardian hits it, it suddenly becomes opaque like blue and purple glass, but it shatters completely. And you can see parts of the Shield Guardian's armor chip off like in the impact. So it takes 43 damage as it flies through this barrier, and it breaks the barrier, but it takes 43 damage as it goes through. So you guys hit that guy pretty hard, which is awesome.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Couldn't have asked for anything better.
Yes, and so
Good
it
use
actually
of the bonus action.
As a bonus action.
it kind of falls down, and it kind of like gets onto one knee, but it's hurt pretty bad. So that was a solid hit, and that barrier is gone now. It's been destroyed.
Dear God.
And
Imagine if one of
then-
us tried to run through it.
That's why I was like, my owl stopped there, and I was like, I feel like if one of us try to go through this, like it's gonna be one of those not shimmery teleporty ones.
Yeah, no, it's different than the It's not a teleportation one. That one was just a physical barrier that you guys, if you were thrown against, would have taken damage from, and then you would have had to attack the barrier to break it down if you wanted. But throwing the shield guardian through is way cooler. So yeah, that destroyed the barrier. It did obviously way more damage than it needed to destroy the barrier, and then that damage also went into the shield guardian. So sweet. Well,
I'm
Tide,
done.
if that was a bonus action, what else would you like to do? Because you have
My owl's gonna keep moving. So from where it was, I guess if it had to move to shove,
It
I guess
didn't have to. That was more just for narrative.
it could have
flavor.
also pulled. So either one would have
Right.
worked.
Right.
But I'm gonna have it move 60 feet down to where Shield Guardian 3 is,
Perfect.
and then I'm going to shocking grasp it.
Through the owl.
Would you
Okay.
say that this thing is made of metal?
I would.
I would roll this with advantage then.
Do it.
And then I think doesn't it take more damage when
What is-
it's wearing? It's one or the other, actually, I think.
It has
What's-
advantage.
What's the spell again?
Shocking grasp. I have it right here. On a hit, the target takes a D8. But yeah, I have advantage on the attack if it is wearing or made of metal.
Yep, then you get advantage.
Fantastic.
Like Cantrip King.
Ooh,
Seriously.
17.
Nice. Okay, number 3 takes 17
Oh, no.
damage.
That was 17 to hit.
I don't think that
Oh.
hits.
17 to hit. I don't think it does either. Yeah, their AC is 17, so it does hit.
Nice.
It takes 7 lightning damage and cannot take reactions.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
No reactions. Okay, sweet. So you can tell that the amount of damage you dealt it isn't much, but it's kind of like seizing up at its movement, so it is impeded very much from that.
Dope.
Nice job.
That is my turn.
Sweet. All right, that is a good turn. That's a lot to do without moving your physical body, so that's awesome. Okay, so after
The ultimate distance spellcaster.
yes, that is epic.
I'm just gonna focus on crowd control. It seems to be my thing.
Awesome. You guys would hear Shield Guardian 2, which is off towards like up and the center, kind of stomping around. Sounds like it's moving away from you guys, which is mildly concerning. But Eremos, it is your turn. 25 feet away from you is Shield Guardian number 3. You just saw, you recognize Tide's magical owl swoop in and dish out some lightning to it, so it looks a little bit restrained. And then 30 feet up from you, though, you see Kastan run forward and fire an arrow and some spells at something further up, presumably Intellect Devourers. What would Eremos like to do?
Well, I will touch myself and cast Lay on Hands.
Good.
And
Eremos, roll for touching yourself, please. No, I'm just kidding.
and I will restore 18 hit points. I will heal. And then I will move forward with my additional action. I will lean around Kastan and yeet a javelin at the Intellect Devourer that's nearly dead.
Nice. So you move up to where you're like next to Kastan, right?
Yes.
Perfect. Yep. Roll an attack on that javelin, and because Olive is friendly, you don't need to roll that she's in the way or anything like that. So
That's fine. I'm not sure I have a javelin in my inventory and even D&D, to be honest. Let me just roll it manually here.
cool. Sounds good. Yeah, it'd be your Dex mod plus proficiency, so
22 to hit.
that'll hit.
Yeah.
Roll us some damage.
And as far as I know, the javelin is one of the few strength-based ranged weapons. That's why I chose it. So I was adding my strength. Yeah. Okay, here we go. 1d6. That will be 3 piercing damage to the Intellect Devourer on the right.
That actually, just for fun, can you roll me a d6, please?
Yes. Let me see here. One.
Cool. So your javelin flies forward and hits it and lifts it off the ground and knocks it back 5 feet. It is dead, though, from that hit.
Nice.
Yes. And I have a cat right behind my webcam. He's probably going to muzzle up against it. So there's not an earthquake happening. It's a cat quake. So just, Haru, what are you doing? There's a giant cat enters the map. So he's standing on the map right now. Haru,
Not an earthquake, a furquake.
a fur quake, much better. Yes.
I believe that is what I can do. If I have any more movement, I'll step in front of Kastan, but I don't know if I would.
No, you would have used the full 30 to get next to him.
Okay.
But now you had line of sight on 4. You would have to move like 10 feet up to get a line of sight on 3, just because there is that pesky corner there. But yeah, you move forward, you use an action to chuck that javelin, and you kill Intellectual Devourer number 4. As far as you guys can tell, there is only one remaining. So you guys are at least thinning the herd there.
Yeah, great. And I will heal 18, and that's my turn.
Heal 18, and that's your turns. Oh, what do you use for the healing? It's a potion?
It was a lay on hands ability. Most of my pool of hit points. Yeah.
Perfect. Oh, that's good, because you took some pretty hefty hits. So, Haru, leave the
I
camera
was,
alone.
I was at like 30% after getting smashed and rolling a high psychic damage. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, that I'm very glad that you are back to fighting level. So
I'm done.
Sorry. Okay, sweet, excellent turn. I gotta just so Shield Guardian number 1's gonna stay in position. It's kind of standing there. It's like almost short circuiting, trying to get to Tide, but it can't. Shield Guardian number 5 is going to move forward, and it's going to get near Shield Guardian number 3. I'll send you guys an updated map momentarily once I move the Shield Guardians. Shield Guardian number 4 is also going to follow. So these guys are starting to figure out where you're moving, and they're starting to pursue you guys. So that is concerning. Now, Intellectual Devourer number 3 is going to make an attack on Olive, because that's the closest
Bring it.
enemy.